The clamshell side plank is one of those exercises that's a little bit of a catch-all for a lot of different things. So I've used it a lot for different core and hip stability issues, and it's been a huge component of coming back from a back injury that I've had, and also strengthening my hips to resolve some knee pain that I've experienced. So I've used it in a lot of different circumstances, and it's a bit funny to learn. There's some nuance involved with it, which we'll go over. But if you do learn it, I have a feeling that it's going to pay dividends if, whether it's bulletproofing you for the future or trying to resolve some maybe underlying issues that might be preventing you from adding some poundage or just lifting well and safely. So setting this up, we need to break this up into two different parts. I like to first go over it is a side plank to start. So we want to go over the side plank position, which is we want to set up on our forearm, shoulder down away from the ear, and pushing through the forearm, like we're pushing the ground away in order to find a nice stable base. And then I'm going to bend my knees. And if I'm looking down at my kneecaps, I can see most of my leg, but not all of my legs. So this would be all of my legs. This would be none of me. And this is somewhere in between. So I do want to end up somewhere in between. And from there, I'm going to drive my hips forward as I push up into this side plank. So this sort of bridged position. So there should be a fairly straight line from my shoulder through to my hip, through to my knee. I try to look forward or somewhat forward, and this keeps my body aligned. And if I have that position and this feels okay, then I'm going to separate my knees, pushing into the ground as well with the down leg. And I should start feeling that pretty intensely through the downside hip. So the hip that's closest to the ground, I'm going to feel that in the side butt. Then I'm going to close my legs and I'm going to slide back. So that's the clamshell side plank. That's putting all those pieces together. You drive the hips forward, you open the knees, you do that under control, and you slide back. If you ever need to adjust, or if you're feeling that in the shoulder, it's oftentimes because the arm's starting to get away and we're trying to like push up under the arm. So we really got to make sure that the arm stays under us just like they do on a regular side plank. So the arm stays in line with the shoulder stays under us, shoulder stays down away from the ear, and I should feel some tension along this side when I do that. So things that oftentimes go wrong with this is as we start to bridge up, we end up like turning towards the ground. So it's really important that we imagine like we got headlights on our hips, they face forward, and we push the hips forward all the way. So I want this open hip, straight line from shoulder down to knee, and be able to slide back. And then the other part of this is making sure that we're not just opening the top leg, that we're actively pushing through the down leg as well. So as you bridge up, you're pushing through that down leg, and then you come back down. For a different angle here for you. So we push forward, open the knees, keep looking forward, close, hinge back. Now, as that gets easier, and I would lean on the side of not adding resistance until you've mastered that, and you can get at least 10 of those clean, slow, controlled with a pause. But you can add a little band resistance. So we strap up a mini band just above the knee. And then the same deal, set that up, we bridge, we separate the knees, give it a little hold, come back down, hinge back. If we have that right, we should feel that strongly in the downside hip, and you might get a little bit of core involvement. The core involvement is mostly about integrating that hip stability, keeping the body position, and you might get a little bit of the downside oblique to go with that. But the main place that's an indicator of whether or not you're doing this right is how much you feel it in the hip. And if you got that, then you got magic. All right, good luck.